Alright guys, so today is a cool topic and something that fascinates me. You see, in the work that I'm doing, one of my real passions is looking at the potential that we as humans have. The potential of our mind, all of the untapped reserves that we have within the human condition. And I love anything that explores pushing the boundaries of what we as humans can do. And what I'm going to talk to you today about is a state that we can get into where we are on an elevated plane, where we are pushing the boundaries of what we can achieve. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about superheroes. Specifically, a superhero within you. Because we all have access to this elevated state of consciousness, this elevated state of performance. And this is a state called flow. Now, what is flow? Flow is the state where challenge and skill meet an optimal level. It's a level where we have just enough skill to perform an action, but only just enough because the challenge of that action is high enough so that we have to be right on the peak of our skill. And even, in certain instances, actually slightly above, where we haven't yet unlocked the skill to be able to do that particular task. And flow is this state where those two things meet. Now, if you are an athlete, if you are a musician, if you are an artist or other creative type, you'll probably be very familiar with flow states, because it is these types of occupations and activities that are good triggers for flow. So if you're an athlete, a sportsman, you'll recognize the state of being in the zone, where everything is just so hyper-focused, and everything that you seem to do is just right. It just keeps on going for you. Or if you're a musician or an artist, everything that you do seems to blend seamlessly into the other, and you reach these new scales of performance and productivity. This is the flow state. This is the superhuman state. Now, a couple of interesting quirks about this state. Now, we have different levels of brainwave. We have different levels of brain activity going on throughout the day. And I won't get too technical and scientific for you. Essentially, there are 4 different brainwave states. And what flow does is it operates right on the border of 2 of our brain states. One called alpha and one called theta. And this is when our mind is in its most calm, relaxed state. When you're in flow, when you're in zone, you don't feel stressed or anxious or confused. Everything just feels so calm and right. And that's because your brain waves have been synchronized right to that point. But also really cool is there is a 5th brainwave. And this is a brainwave that is only activated through going into flow. This is a brainwave called gamma. And what gamma does is, uniquely compared to the other brainwaves, it links together all these different sections of the brain. It makes far-reaching connections across your neurosystem. And so this leads to outside-the-box thinking, enhanced creativity. It brings together all of the different areas of your mind, all of the potential of your mind, into one beautiful whole. And thus you are operating on the full capacity of your neuroability. Now, flow states have been demonstrated by science to be something that is key to our happiness and well-being in life. Because what flow does is it helps us to feel that we have meaning and engagement with life. When we're in the flow state, when we're in that sense of hyper-focus, we feel so intrinsically connected with that thing that we're doing. And that is what gives us that feeling of meaning and engagement. And so flow states, super important for living a happy, meaningful, engaged life. Flow states activate increased potential in our neurosystem. And talking of neurology, flow states are also unleashing a host of chemicals into our body. There's dopamine, which, if you guys watch my videos, if you're familiar with basic neuroscience and psychology, you'll know dopamine is the chemical that gets released after we feel a reward. It gives us that, yay, I did it feeling of achieving a goal. Dopamine, that's being released in flow. If you are in a social situation and you're engaged in flow, which can happen, interactions and relationships can be flow triggering. You'll have oxytocin, the connection chemical. You'll have what is called the helper's high if you're doing something altruistic, if you're giving and being generous. And you'll also have a neurotransmitter that's not one of the most popular and well-recognized ones. It's one called amandicide. And what amandicide is it is a endogenous cannabinoid. So that is the chemical that gets activated when you smoke cannabis, when your body ingests cannabis. That is what reacts. And this chemical is often known as the bliss chemical because it gives us that content feeling. It elevates our mood, and it also has been shown to inhibit fear. So as you can see, getting into flow is doing amazing things for us as people. It gives us this doorway into extra potential and extra performance. And what I'd like to share with you in the rest of this video is 3 steps on how you can get into flow. How can you unlock this superhero potential within you? And so first strategy is attention. If you want to get into this state, you need to put your attention into one single thing. If you want to get into hyper focus, then you need to get focused. Do you see athletes playing on the pitch who are texting on their phones? Do you see musicians in the orchestra scrolling away on Facebook? No. These guys are hyper focused on the task that they need to do. And so if you want to get into flow states, your attention needs to have that same precision. You can't have other distractions. You can't follow the myth of multitasking. You've got to get down and dirty with that one particular thing, that one particular pursuit, whatever it is, whether that's exercise, whether that's creative work for your business, whether that is interactions and relationships. You've got to have focus on that singular thing. Energy flows where attention goes. That is absolutely key. If you want to get the energy for a flow state, then you need to put your attention into this. Strategy number 1, pay attention. Now, strategy number 2 is you have to be very precise on what your goals are. You see, one of the triggers, one of the predictors of flow is having a clear set of outcomes that you're working towards. You have a grand goal and you're aware of all the steps required to lead up to that goal. And that is why musicians get into flow so frequently, because they have all of these micro steps along the journey. They've got their overall goal, which is, you might even say their overall goal is learning how to play an instrument if they're not already proficient at it. Then you've got the goal of playing a piece of music. But in that music, you have all of the bars, all of the notes, all of the musical terminology that I'm not fully aware of myself. But you've got all the micro steps within it in order to play a good piece of music. And so musicians are very aware of what the steps they have to take are. They have a clear path to follow. And so with that clear path, they can get hyper focused. They can get their attention in onto what that goal is. If you don't know what your goal is, then you're not going to be able to focus your attention on something if you don't know where to focus it. So having clear goals for whatever it is you're pursuing. Again, if you're pursuing exercise, what are you working towards? Are you working towards a distance goal in running, a weight goal in weightlifting, a fat loss goal for body transformation? If it's relationships, what are you looking to get from this interaction? Is it to make a sale to a client? Is it to give compassion to a loved one? Is it to find out more information about a relative stranger? What is your goal in that interaction or that activity, and get hyper focused on it. Now, strategy number 3 is challenge. As I said at the beginning of the video, flow is the state where skill and challenge meet an optimal level, where the challenge is high enough so that you're right on the peak of your skill level, perhaps even a little bit above it. So guys, if you want to get into state, then you can't be scared of challenge. Too many of us in our lives play easy. We go after the easy things, the stuff that we know we can do. If you want to push the boundaries of your potential, then you can't play small. If you want to find out what you've got up here and what you've got in here, then you need to push the borders on what you've known thus far. You need to go into the white spaces of the map. You need to challenge yourself. And you can't be scared of that challenge, because it's on challenge that we grow and thrive. If we continue to do the easy stuff, the stuff that we know we can do, we're not growing, we're not progressing, we're not moving forward. So you've got to learn to embrace challenge, to look forward to challenge, to thrive in challenge. Because when you get into that state of challenge, then you can hit that peak where your skills are being tested, right on the edge. You're right on the edge of what you can do, and when you're on the edge, your body, your mind, your spirit is going to respond, and it's going to push you into that hyper-focused state, and it's going to help you to unleash the superhero within you. So guys, that is an overview of flow states, how powerful flow states can be for us. Flow states are something that I found out about a couple years ago, and it's now something that I can recognize when I come out of an interaction or out of a work block in my timetable. I can look back and say, oh man, I was in flow then, and I'll feel good because I know when I'm in flow, I'm working to my best. I'm being the best David that I can be. So if you want to be the best you that you can be, then you need to tap into that higher abilities. You need to tap into flow. So looking back on those three strategies, we had attention, we had goals, and we had challenge. What one of those can you commit more to in your life right now? If you have a goal in your health, your business, or your relationships, which one of those three is lacking for you? And how can you elevate that strategy? How can you hone in on making that more optimal and get yourself into flow states? Because when we're in flow, we are capable of some powerful, powerful results. So folks, I'd like to thank you for joining me in this video, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next one. But until then, go out there and live a life of love and service. I'll be speaking to you soon. David. Hey guys, it's David again. Just a quick couple things to cover before you have to shoot off. First of all, if you liked this video and if you've been enjoying the content on the channel thus far, then could I ask you to please click that big red subscribe button below. That way you're sure never to miss any content and you can keep up with all the training and knowledge that I'm sharing on the channel. Second of all, if you feel that this video was impactful for you, and if you feel that there's a person or a group in your life who could really benefit from the message in this video, could I ask you please to share it with them? Share it with anyone who you could feel could benefit from this training. You see, I'm doing everything I can to get my message out there to all the people who need to hear it, but there's only so much I can do by myself. So I'm asking you guys, as my fans and supporters, to help me spread this message and help impact as many people's lives as possible. And then third of all, if you're interested in finding out a little bit more about my story and the 3 most powerful life lessons I've learned, then you can find this in my latest book, The Last 60 Minutes. This is a book that will help you find meaning and vibrancy in your life. Go to the video description below and there'll be a link where you can look at the book and find out more information about it. And if you find yourself reading it, I hope you find whatever it is you're looking for in there. So guys, until next time, remember to go out there and live a life of love and service. I look forward to speaking to you soon.